welcome back for another Nutrition Bites segment. My name is Kate Watts. I'm a registered dietitian, and today we're talking all about using the plate method, also known as the portion plate. So I've got my lovely visual here of our portion plate or plate method. You may have seen this tool before. It is actually the new visual that took the place of the food pyramid. So when I was in school, I learned about food groups through the food pyramid, which to eat more of, which to eat less of. And now we have this plate method that is, to me, a lot more user-friendly because it's actually what you see when you sit down to a meal. So I'm gonna go through the plate method and each of our food groups here and tips for each section of the plate. First thing we want to start with though is the size of the plate. So this is going to be really more like the size of a salad plate, about 9 or 10 inches, instead of a dinner plate, which would be more like 16 inches. And so just by using a smaller plate, you're going to have more moderate portions, more appropriate portions for what our body actually needs. And research has actually shown that using smaller plates, bowls, cups, utensils helps reduce our calorie intake through portion control. So on our moderately sized plate, we are going to first cut the plate in half and then cut the plate in half again. So we've got 4 sections, we've got different quarters of the plate. I'm gonna start with fruits and vegetables over here. The challenge of the plate method is to really fill up your plate with lots of fruits and vegetables. Think color, variety, really trying to eat the rainbow, get that colorful interest on our plate. And the reason we really want to increase the portions of our fruits and vegetables is so that we can get the most nutrition for the fewest calories. So these foods are low in calories, but they're really high in nutrition. So we call them nutrient-dense foods. And so the really important part of the plate method is that we have to fill up half our plate with fruits and vegetables so that we're full and satisfied after this meal. Because while we're limiting portions of proteins and grains, we need to fill up our stomachs with these fruits and vegetables that are much lower in calories but help, again, keep us satisfied after that meal. So moving on from our fruits and vegetables is our grains. And so this portion of the plate will sometimes be called starches or part of our carbohydrate family. And so this will include all of our bread products as well as pasta and rice and our starchy vegetables like potatoes, corn, beans, and peas. So the main goal of the grains quarter of our plate is to choose whole grains that are high in fiber, at least half of the time throughout the day. So your whole grains provide that extra benefit of nutrients that are still intact. They haven't been stripped from the food during the processing of that food like we see in our refined versions of our grains. So whole grains are gonna not only have more fiber, but also more B vitamins and minerals and things like that. And so starchy vegetables like potatoes are actually a great choice for this quarter of your plate because they're going to be so high in other nutrients like potassium and also provide the benefit of fiber. Now, if you're managing something like your blood sugar, fiber is a great choice for these grains because it also doesn't spike your blood sugar the same way that other carbohydrates or sugars do. And also just by limiting our carbohydrates to 1/4 of the plate, that's a great starting method to manage blood sugar as well. So let's move on to proteins. For proteins, just by limiting the serving size to 1/4 of your plate, that's a great place to start for improving heart health because most of our unhealthy cholesterol, unhealthy fats come from animal products, which are typically found in our protein section. So for proteins and for heart health, or if you're managing your cholesterol or your blood pressure, trying to choose low-fat proteins cooked in healthy ways, prepared by grilling or baking versus fried proteins, trying to limit how often we have fried foods on the plate. That's going to really help with those heart health goals. Now, it doesn't just have to be animal products for your protein. You can also use plant-based proteins like soy products. Beans are a wonderful source of protein, nuts and seeds. And if you follow more vegetarian and you are consuming like eggs and cheese and yogurt and things like that, that's going to provide really good protein as well. So that is your plate method. It's all about balance. It's all about moderation. It's all about making room for each and every food group and keeping those portions in a good relation to each other. So allowing us to get enough servings of fruits and vegetables each day, and also enjoying those yummy foods, but in moderation. To help with our health goals. So the last thing you'll see on the plate method is our dairy food group. And it's over here off to the side. Dairy is an interesting food group because the main reason we include it in our dietary recommendations is because it's a great source of calcium. And so 2 to 3 servings per day of dairy, such as milk, yogurt, and cheese, are going to provide the needed calcium for your day. However, you can get calcium in dark leafy greens and other vegetables. So we don't have to have dairy at every meal. We're just aiming for that recommendation of 2 to 3 servings per day. So that is the plate method. I hope that you give it a try. It's a wonderful tool because it can be used absolutely anywhere, whether you're preparing meals at home and using it as a template to plan out your meals, or if you're at a restaurant and you can look for these different items on the menu to build a balanced meal, or if you're at a family member's house or at a gathering and there's a big spread of food and you're going through the line filling up your plate, you can keep this visual in your head as you're serving your plate, and it's just a really easy tool to use anywhere you go. So I hope you give it a try. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next month.